All right, first up on the show, content to commerce platform, the Good Glamm Group. They have completed the acquisition of Sirona Hygiene for 450 crore rupees in an all-cash deal, which represents one of the largest cash exits in the D2C space, especially in the female tech sector. Let's connect with Darpan Sanghvi, who is the founder and CEO of the Good Glamm Group. Thanks so much for taking time out. So, Darpan, this is representing one of the largest cash exits that we've seen. So what is it bringing to the table for the Good Glamm Group, Sirona Hygiene?
I think, Avan, if you look at Sirona, it's probably one of the most unique new age brands that have come out in India in the last 5 to 7 years. The brand genuinely has been built on solving the unmet needs of women. And there are very few brands like that out there. The brand is a pioneer in addressing problems that people don't want to talk about, and then creating products around those problems that frankly break taboos. So if you look at Sirona, we have the female urination device, which came out of a need when women travel and the toilets are not clean. How can they do that in a hygienic manner? Then you look at the menstrual cups, which is a category that Sirona has created literally in India and has over 50% market share. Or you look at the new foray in sexual wellness. It's trying to bring about a revolution of clean sexual wellness from a woman's perspective. Clean beauty has become really big over the last 10 years, and we believe clean sexual wellness is going to be big too. And then our most recent product, which is the pepper spray. Looking at all the women's safety issues that are there, about a year and a half ago, Sirona acquired Empower, which is India's leading pepper spray company. And our consumers were delighted that Sirona is once again talking about problems that no one else talks about and creates products that solve those unmet needs. So what this acquisition means is it's an extremely, extremely exciting brand to be able to own and scale from here on.
And it's been valued at over 450 crore rupees. So are you guys super confident that Sirona's innovative approach is going to lead the way when it comes to the Good Glamm Group? What are you guys going to do differently, given that now you take over complete control?
Absolutely. If you look at the intimate hygiene brands that are mainstream today, other than your couple of large majors, which have been around for the last 30 years, no one has been able to disrupt the space and really become mainstream. You've seen it in makeup. In makeup, you've seen brands like MyGlam become as mainstream as legacy brands. You're seeing it in personal care, where you see a brand like Mamaearth, which has really broken out and done so well in the personal care space. You haven't seen that in intimate hygiene. And we believe Sirona will be that brand that will truly break out in the mainstream. I think the founders, Deep and Mohit, have done an amazing job in giving us a foundation through which we can really, really scale from here on.
And actually, if we take the clock back, you guys had invested about 100 crore rupees in the year 2022 by primary and secondary investments. And I believe that gave you substantial returns of 6 to 20x. And since then, you've also seen that really triple in terms of the revenues over the next 24 months. So what are you expecting in terms of a financial fillip for you guys from Sirona?
So, Avan, since the time we acquired the brand, which is about 2.5 years ago, the brand has grown 300%. It's grown 3x here. So, we've clearly been able to, work with this brand in a manner where it is delivering results for us. I think from an ROI standpoint, Sirona today is contributing to about maybe 15% of our revenue. We hope that number continues to go up here. And as we start thinking about our IPO next year, I do feel Sirona would be an exciting and important part of that.
And you guys have been on an acquisition spree. Of course, that is your strategy. I think it's sort of this house of brand strategy. How is that working for you, and how is it going to bolster your overall growth?
I think, if you look at what we did, it's very similar to how any large beauty personal care company has done historically, right? You build one strong brand, which we did in our case, My Glam, with which you learned the business, created certain moats. In our case, that moat was our digital distribution and our digital reach and our direct to consumer know-how here. And then building on those moats, you went and bought complementary, non-competing brands that allowed you to serve that same consumer, but for different needs of that customer. The way it panned out for us, Avan, was our repeats went up from in FY22, 22% of orders were repeat orders to FY24, 65% of orders being repeat orders, because that same customer now had multiple brands across categories to purchase after we acquired the consumer. So I think it has worked out well for us. If you've seen, we've not really done any new acquisition in the last 2 years. We completed our portfolio. We've built some brands organically after that, where we in My Glam we did Pout by Karan Johar that we launched last year, which has been quite successful, and there's some more stuff coming up. So it has completed our portfolio. Till date, we are the only new age company, beauty personal care company in India to have a portfolio that spans makeup, mom and baby, intimate hygiene, organic personal care, and hair care. So I do believe it has worked out well for us, and hopefully we can take it all the way to the markets.
Sure, and this is a space that is very competitive. I'm talking about the beauty and personal care space. What about competition? How do you guys really stand out? What's the USP, especially given the strategy that you have, housing multiple brands?
Avan, so each brand has its own competitors, right? I think overall as a group, it's not that we look at competitors overall as a group. So Sirona is fighting against these big legacy players in the menstrual space or now in the sexual wellness space, right? And there are also some new age players in the femtech space like Sirona, which are coming up. How do we differentiate? The next time you go to Delhi airport, I'm sure you'll see the Sirona vending machines all over there. Again, it was solving an unmet need. Women are at the airport, they have a menstrual emergency, and where can they get a sanitary pad at that last minute? And now these vending machines are all over. We created the first period WhatsApp tracker where women can track their periods on WhatsApp. As simple as that. You don't need an app, you don't need anything else. So I think every brand, if you look at the Mom's Company, the baby products that the Mom's Company makes are some of the purest, cleanest, and safest. I mean, these are claims that can be made and ingredients that can be checked. So I think every brand has a set of competition, and then we fight, within that space to create our mark, whether it's in the sort of the brand point of view or in the product differentiation, and that's how we go about it.
And how about the other segments of yours? How are they faring?
So good media and good creator, as you know, Avan, had always been set up to be a great channel for us to get large digital distribution, which can then be leveraged by our brands to get more direct to consumer orders. I think Good Media and Good Creator have made a lot of progress in the last 12 months. Here, our Good Creator Co platform continues to remain as one of the largest platforms for creators, where we have hundreds of thousands of creators on our Good Creator Co app who are creating content, not just for our brands, but for other brands as well. We're hoping to make some announcements in AI around the same very, very soon. And Good Media continues to do well. Some of our properties, Scoop Whoop, OK Tested, PopXO, Miss Malini, they continue to be loved by consumers, and they get us the impressions we need to be able to also put our brands, to fit our brands within those impressions.
And when it comes to your overall valuations, I understand that there has been a big jump up post the kind of fundraising that you have had. What does your valuation stand at, if you can share?
So look, we're not divulging. We've not been going into our fundraisers or valuations, but our valuations continue to remain healthy here. And I think, Avan, I guess the biggest validation of our valuations will soon be when we're able to get to the markets and have the markets be able to price out. But as a company, we've been able to hold our valuations and touch wood for the same.
No, fair enough. Okay, and finally, let's get in a sense as to what your plans are to go public. I believe you had last said that Diwali 2025, so that's a year from now. Are you guys ready?
I hope so. Keeping my fingers crossed for the same. I think if we meet some of the targets and actions that are ongoing currently, I definitely think we should be ready.
Okay, thanks so much for joining in. Wish you all the best, Darpan.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.